Welcome to the channel. My name's Geek. This is Geek Provisions. Today I've got a very different video for you guys. One I've wanted to do for a long time. We finally got, I say finally, I haven't actually looked to try and do one. It was just on the list of things that I wanted to do. And today we're doing it. As you may or may not know, I went to the London Regionals last weekend. It's not about me. We don't need to talk about how I did. It's about someone else. Today we're interviewing top four. He came top four with a certain Blackbeard leader that I thought would be interesting to ask a few questions. I had a bunch of questions from you guys that you wanted asking to players at the regionals. Unfortunately, I didn't actually get to record as much as I would have liked to. I was actually told not to record by one of the judges at one point, which kind of threw me off my recording a little. Like I didn't want to take the piss or make anyone feel uncomfortable, so I just said fuck it, I won't do it. But it doesn't matter because today we're interviewing Mr. Top Four, Mr. Number Four, goes by the Bandai name Stefanteach or Stefanteach. I'm not sure. He can correct me in the comments if I said the wrong one. But yeah, you know what? It was a really good interview. I think like he gave some very solid pointers, advice, and just like explanation of a lot of what he did and his deck. So we're going to get into that now. Let's get into the interview. I'll catch you in a bit.
Okay.
Right. I'm here with Nate. He came fourth at the London Regionals. I was there. It was very fun. I didn't actually get to watch much of it due to playing and doing really badly. Dropping out. I did some side events, but it was fun. I did actually catch him briefly playing. I didn't get to see how it went, but it looked like you were doing very well. Yeah, I thought we'd just go through your deck, have a little chat about how your tournament went. Maybe you could give some insight to some of the players about your deck and how you did. Firstly, you came all the way from Slovenia, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Cool.
With a group of friends.
How many of you were there?
So there was 3 friends and my girlfriend.
Okay, cool. And how did they do?
Everyone except my girlfriend dropped at 1-3, I believe.
Oh, okay.
She finished 6-4. She got the fourth lost at like the 8th or 9th round, I believe.
Okay, not bad. Not
Super
bad.
proud of her. She did great.
Oh, brilliant. Well, congrats to her as well. I'm sure she was very happy. Was it a long commute for you guys?
Not really long, just super early. We had to wake up, I think it was 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. to catch our flight because it was like 6. And
Oof.
we flew from Zagreb, so we had to get to the neighbor country first by car and then to the airport.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, not
And
used to
what,
those
you
hours.
all just got a hotel together or what?
Yeah, we just got a hostel.
Ah,
We were
even
lucky
better.
enough to, yeah, super lucky. They were super nice. They gave us one room for just us, and it ended great.
Brilliant. Yeah, that seems to be the way people do it, right? You go in a nice big group, you get some like the cheap accommodation because you're not staying there, right? You're just going to the
Yeah,
tournament for the
exactly.
day and then you're out. Nice. Right. So you played Blackbeard, right? I saw a heavy amount of Blackbeard players at the tournament. I think I played 3 myself. So
It's
the
like the
representation was high.
Yeah, the
What?
deck is just amazing. I think it's really incredible. It was for sure one of the best in the format or is currently. So I
Yeah.
don't know what else to say. It really was the peak, I think.
Yeah. So
Next
what
to Lim, obviously.
is that why you chose it? Like it was that sort of your motivation to choose that deck to play, or did it have anything to
Yeah.
do with the
So
character or
not specifically the character. I mean, I
hmm,
like Blackbeard as a character. I think he's cool. But
yeah.
my main reason was this format seemed like really open-ended. There wasn't like one specific deck that obviously was like tier 0, tier 1 like Doflamingo was.
Yeah.
So really, I just wanted to pick a deck that could do really good into every other deck in the meta,
Hmm.
especially into like the ones I thought would be the most popular, which would be Blackbeard, Shanks, and I assume there would be some Zoro there as well, a
Hmm.
few Usops. and I just decided that Blackbeard probably has the best spread amongst any other deck other than Shanks. And I was kind of done with Shanks. I ran him before, and I really didn't want to do it again, and I didn't want to go through a whole day of mirrors. So I said
Yeah.
we're going Blackbeard, and we're hoping we dodge the Doffies,
Yeah,
and
fair,
it
man.
worked out.
Fair. Well, yeah, I think that does kind of make perfect sense. Like the like you said, the representation of different decks I thought was crazy there. Like I saw a bit of everything. Like I saw a couple Marcos. I saw
It was
like
straight up everything.
yeah, right. So yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, choosing a deck that you sort of know you can. Obviously, you're going to have your bad matchups, but if you've got a really good one into the majority, I think you've got a decent chance, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And even the bad matchups like can be skill diff, I guess. Like you can sneak a win on them,
Yeah.
uh, and just hope you generally dodge them. But like if you get them, like you go, damn, I'll try. Maybe I get it.
Yeah. True. Right. So before we get into the rest of the questions, if you want to go through your deck and like sort of show everyone the deck that you were running, go through the cards a little bit. I'll sort of show them. I'll try and show my best from my side what you're working with. Yeah, if you want to
Yeah.
go for it.
No problem. Okay, so one of the main reasons, of course, I chose Stitch was because he was like super consistent. Not only was he really good into most of the meta, he's super consistent. So he's got the 4 Lafits, 4 Eras, and 4 Full Elites, of course. Those 3 cards, all searchers. Lafitte, ironically, seemed like the worst of the bunch. I
Okay.
rarely found myself having time to play him. But my era and of course stage, like they overperform every game that you see stage, like you're seeing your whole deck. So it's like a well-oiled machine,
Yeah,
basically.
and like
Um,
the
yep,
do the other two, like Lafitte's great, but the other two trash put stuff in your trash as well, right?
yeah. My era fills the trash really well.
Yeah.
Plus the trigger is like insane. You just get a free search basically.
Hmm.
And yeah, consist. Not only do you see your whole deck, you like consistently fill your trash bit by bit because the win condition of the deck definitely is Jesus Burgess.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah,
you,
we'll get onto that one
you
actually. We'll get onto that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
So what? So after your sort of searches, where are you going next?
Yeah, we can go to the 2Ks.
Yep.
It's just 8 2Ks. I was debating between, oh, sorry, 7 2Ks. I was debating between 8 2Ks and 7 2Ks. I ended up on 7
Hmm.
because I thought the second Augur was super important, just so I
Yeah.
can have him for the Shanks matchup. So Stronger is obviously the better 2K because he actually has some use, like in these situations, like if you saw the semifinals. He was a potential out. I was playing against Slim, who double blocked it up, and the only out I had at the time was Stronger into. I beat 500 million, which we'll talk about later, of course,
Yeah.
but the effect comes up a lot.
Hmm.
Shiri, on the other hand, like is mostly just there for the 2K. Like you're never realistically playing the card.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. So did you play against the limb that went 15-0 for the tournament?
No, I played against the other Lim.
Oh yeah,
Hano?
because there was two in the final, right? It was limb. It was
Yeah,
a
yeah,
limb
there
mirror.
were finals.
That
Yeah,
is
there was
is
Lim,
that not
Lim, me, and
crazy?
Shanks. It is
Like
crazy. I was
insane.
really hoping I could get the Shanks and dodge the Lim for one
Yeah.
more turn, but it didn't work out that way.
Man, I could when I heard that it was a limb player had won it, I was like, oh damn, like that's crazy. Then I heard that he went 15-0. I was like, yo, that is like what is going on? And then I found out that it was a limb mirror, and I was like, someone like,
Yeah,
are you? Is it April the 1st again? Is this April Fools? Yeah, crazy.
it was pretty crazy actually. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And apparently the limb player that won, who went 15-0, apparently he chose that deck because Twitter told him to play it.
Yeah, that was the funniest part.
Mad.
I approached them. I think it was top 8. I approached them in the table. They were talking, and he let me know it was the deck that won
Like
on Twitter. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Now,
that's some serious like aura he's got going on, man. Because
yeah,
yeah, I
it was
could
pretty
never.
intimidating.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, those are your 2Ks. Shiryu
Yeah,
is literally just there for a 2K.
yeah, straight up is there
Stronger
for it.
obviously has half decent effect. You get a card back as well, right? You get like a
Yeah,
yeah
yeah. He's just like Tsuru from Black, just like a budget activate main version,
yeah.
basically.
Cool. All right. And
Yeah,
next.
pretty good. Okay, we can move on to the forecast of the deck, which is Shiryu and Burgess.
Mm-hmm.
Shiryu is in the deck because, as you've noticed, I don't actually run dock queues.
Yeah, I
Uh,
was gonna ask about that actually. So yeah.
yeah, so it seemed like the meta wasn't really like spread enough for dock queue to actually even make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like there weren't any forecasts in the meta, only 3 costs and 5 costs that were relevant. 3 cost of course being Zoro, like his whole deck, and 5 cost is literally every other deck runs
Mm-hmm.
the 5 costs, including Zoro, of course. The Luffy is just an insane card.
Yeah. True.
So the strategy with the deck was really you want to play a 4-on-4, and if you can play a 4 that gets rid of your opponent's 3, it's just like infinitely good. Like the card just really overperformed.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't actually end up playing any Zoros, but if I did, Shiryu is the card that makes that matchup like super winnable. Without
Okay.
him, it's a bit of a struggle.
So
And
is
then
Zoro
yeah.
is that like 50-50 or is it how is that
If you go
matchup for you?
second, it seems almost unwinnable for Zoro,
Okay.
honestly. Like the Shiryu popping his stuff and him not having the extra Dawn to spend for the event at any point in the early game is really bad.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go first and you don't see your Shiryus and he really sees the events and all the choppers, like you can get in trouble. It's just like how many Shiryus you see and how many choppers he sees. Like I
Yeah.
feel like that's how it boils down to. And of course, at the end, how many rushers he have to try and push through.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Does
Yeah.
does the so the 10 drop negates Zoro's leader ability, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does
It
that
does, but only for
does that
your
ever?
turn. So,
Oh, it's only for your turn.
yeah, it's only during
Ah,
your
okay.
turn. So
Okay, that makes
Teach
sense.
negates both the leader and the character, but the characters for his turn as well, while the leader just for your turn.
Right. Okay.
The
So
most
that's not really too
applicable
relevant.
leader he disables is Shanks, because he can't -1 KU if you drop the teach.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, and Usopp can.
And Bonnie, right?
Yeah, and Bonnie and
Yeah.
Usopp, but I don't think there was a lot of Bonnies in the event.
No, it was just me, I think.
Just you,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
But saying that, I played 3 Blackbeards and I beat 2 of them, and
Nice.
I was very happy. I was very happy. um,
That's
but
very impressive.
luckily I didn't come up against you, and you like I don't wanna be the scrub that would have taken something good off of you, because I still would have done bad. So um, yeah,
Thank God,
sorry.
man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you probably would have beaten me anyway, but still. Yeah, on to the other 4 drop.
Yeah, the other 4 drop, the man himself, Jesus Burgess,
Yeah,
truly the savior of the deck. Like the card is incredible. It's like the whole victory condition of the whole deck. Like just having a 4 cost that's a 10k, it just turns out it's too strong for most
crazy.
decks to do it. Like,
Hmm.
and if
Would
they rely on KO and have nothing to remove him, it's just like the
yeah,
card sticks, never leaves, and keeps whacking your face.
yeah,
It's
it's
really good.
crazy, man. It's good. Like it's a scary card. It really is a scary card. Is it? Would you
Yeah.
say it's more of a win condition than the teach, or are they sort of like?
It's for sure Burgess.
Mm,
If you have a game where you saw 4 Burgesses and they're on the field, but you didn't see a teach, you're still probably winning that game. But if the
yeah.
only character that ends up being on your field is Stitch, trying to prolong the game until you win, it's like they usually go wide and then you don't have it, so you
Yeah,
just
that makes
lose.
sense.
The Burgess is like really the center of the whole deck. He's an incredible goddamn card. He's like the 4 you wanna play on 4.
Yeah, for real, for real. Yeah, where do you want to go after this? After the
Yeah,
Burgess?
we can go to Kuzan, the 4 additional copies of Burgess, of course,
Yeah.
as well as being like a great toolbox character. Like
Hmm.
your trash just becomes like anything you really want it to be.
Yeah.
Of course, almost most of the time, I'll say it ends up being Burgess. but like he has great plane lines with Augur and Vasco shots too. He'll
Hmm.
probably bring out Shiryu the least out of any card, but he's really good. Like he not only is he sticky, like you can into certain decks, you can play him down and you can just not lead their ability because you know they have nothing that can get rid of him, so you don't really care what they're doing. He's also like your main victory condition into blue, since Burgess is kind of just like a soft baby into them if you don't play around it. He draws a card when he replaces himself. He's really a goated card that I think elevated this deck into what it is in '09.
Yeah, for sure. I completely agree. Just for the people watching, I'm only holding up 3. It is meant to be 4. I'm just missing one. So just pretend that there's 4 there. Yeah, great
There's
card.
always four there. It doesn't matter what else you're gonna run in the deck ever. There's gonna be four Kuzans.
Yeah, it has to be, right? Has to be. And like it doesn't even matter that it doesn't have the counter, right? Because like you said, it replaces itself. So
Yeah, it
it
replaces
kind of doesn't
itself.
matter.
You can pitch it for stage if you see too many. Like it really
Yeah.
doesn't matter in the end.
Yeah, yeah.
He's really good.
Okay, cool.
The other 5 cost running in the deck is the 2 off of Ogre. So since I'm not running the Doc Qs in this build, Augur obviously loses some power. He's
Yeah.
not that great of a card, but he still has a very good like use in the mirror and any deck that plays an 8 drop. For mirror, for example, you're very favored going second. So you want to play around that by going Kuzan on 5, since your opponent can't really deal with it without going stronger and black holing it, which is
Hmm.
like super negative for them. You're kind of okay with it. And if they don't do it, they usually like develop their own Burgess out. So you have the very beautiful line of popping your own Kuzan, bringing out Van Augur. The Van Augur reduces their Burgess, and you can use the I beat 500 million to remove that Burgess from field and just play your own Burgess down for 4.
Man,
It really makes going first much better.
I honestly like I love this deck. I wish I had the brain power to play it, but like just plays like that just like confirm to me that I can't play this deck. It has so many cool like mechanics like you just explained, but and
Yeah,
like
it's
especially in the mirror, like you said, because I think it's only in the mirror that you can get rid of that Kuzan, right?
yep.
Yeah,
Eh, only the mirror can get rid of him.
yeah, that's really
And
cool.
even in the mirror, you kind of want to ignore the Kuzan. You just want to wait for it to transform into the Burgess.
Hmm.
So it kind of makes it like a little mini game. Like you play a Burgess and you have a backup Kuzan. If they ever remove your Burgess, you can replay him back and play another, and then they need to catch up. And it's like a little cat and mouse game you're playing.
Oh
It's
man,
actually a super fun mirror. I thought I would hate it. Honestly, I really thought I would hate the mirror,
yeah,
but after putting the IBD in it, like the mirror just became fun.
that's great. I was just gonna ask you actually because I'm like again I've put Bonnie's in the bin now. Bonnie's in the bin. We're not playing Bonnie anymore. But one of the reasons I hated that deck so much was the mirror. Like it might be the most it not only is it complicated, it's just so boring. Like it's so boring. I just and anytime a Bonnie player sits in front of me, I'm just like, oh great, let's strap in, set the
It's
timer.
really a common mirror problem, I think, in One Piece.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but it's
Like the
good. It's
mirror
good
is
that you've
usually
got one that
super
you enjoy.
complicated. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was really grateful for that because I assumed that any deck I would have picked, I would have played mirrors all day.
yeah,
I was like, if I pick Shanks, I'm for sure playing mirrors all day, and I'm gonna wanna shoot myself after. So it made Teach even an easier choice.
definitely. Did you have any mirrors during your run then?
I had one.
Oh, okay.
I actually ended up not seeing that many Blackbeards. I was like a Shanks farm.
Hmm.
Every round a Shanks sat in front of me.
That's so
It was
funny.
pretty funny, but I was looking forward to some mirrors too.
Yeah,
I would have enjoyed to play at least one or two more.
nah, fair enough. Yeah, I don't blame you.
There's only
Okay.
so many 5+ Luffy into.
Yeah, man.
You
Yeah,
can play.
I'm done. I'm done with Shanks. Shanks can go now. It's just
Yeah, I agree.
like it sort of plays itself as well, right?
Yeah.
It's just
It's
like you're just on curve, on curve, on curve for the most part.
For the most part, you just want to play your best card on curve.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cool. Where did we leave? Kuzan? Just now?
We just did Kuzan and
Yeah.
Van Ogre. Yeah.
Hmm.
So Van Ogre was there obviously for the mirror. As I discussed, if you lose dice roll and you go first, you have the I bid line with
Yeah.
Van Ogre, I bid, and Burgess. And he's also really good into Shanks specifically. So how I end up playing this deck a lot is you ignore their bodies in the early game and
Yeah.
you develop your own board because obviously like you can't win if you don't have a board. And then on the 8 or 9 dawn turn is usually where you end up getting rid of your opponent's bodies with one finger or black or
Hmm.
whatever, and then develop another body down yourself. So what Van Auger does really beautifully with that is if you set up Kuzan prior to it, you get to play him out of trash. So not only is he free and draws a card, but he also hits Dragon, puts him to 5, and you can finger pistol the Dragon. And what happens to Shanks usually is like on your 8 or 9 on turn, they go from 2 to 3 guys to 0 guys, staring down a full board, and then the game gets complicated for them.
Yeah,
So
it sounds it.
yeah,
That sounds pretty
Van
lethal.
Auger is a really nice card for that.
Nice.
Of course, the biggest body in the deck then is Teach. Like the card is obviously like super broken. A really strong card, but there are a lot of like matchups or situations where you don't even get to play him. A mistake I see a lot of people making with this deck is they keep grabbing Teaches in the early game, where
Mm.
Teach literally just sits in your hand and you can't really do anything about it. So there's like for example the Dofi or the Zoro matchup. Usually you win those two matchups without ever even resolving a teach,
Oh
or you
wow.
resolve one teach at most, because you don't actually get to have the time to start dropping the teach. Like the deck develops too many bodies and you're stuck dealing with them, and teach just locking one ends up being not enough. But the card obviously overperforms into
Yeah.
deck that like play a big guy, so like Shanks.
So
If they play
those
their 10 drop Shanks and you end up locking it, like it's
yeah.
disaster.
So those matches you were talking about, like the Zori, sorry, the Zoro and the Dofi.
Yeah.
If you're not sort of aiming towards just like spamming teachers, what's your sort of aim there? Like how
Your
are you
aim is
dealing with the flooding of the board?
So for Zoro, it's actually way simpler with this deck because
Hmm.
obviously you have the Shiryu. So what ends up happening a lot is you take second away from them. So they play their chopper on 3, get a guy down. You play your Shiryu and you smack into the guy. So they have to give you a 2k if they even want to keep one body on board, which is already a disaster for them usually.
Hmm.
Sometimes they even see the 3k body, so that they never save that. And then what you do against them is you just do it again. They play another body and you go Shiryu again and you smash into the other one. And after you've played two Shiryus down, you finally get the like breathing room to
Hmm.
like smack their face a little bit. And then because you have like 7k bodies on defense, they're never gonna be able to like contest your board. Obviously,
True.
it's too high for them. So you actually just like end up outracing them with your board.
So do you find
Uh,
that
yeah.
like obviously you've got a lot of ways to sort of get exactly what you want in your hand. Do you find that most matches that is the case? Like
Yeah,
are
yeah.
you pretty
Every
much
time you
getting
see stage,
exactly?
you're seeing exactly what you want to see.
Yeah.
Like the first like really 4 or 5 down play is like when you really want to have the card you want, right? So Shiryu, Burgess, or Kuzan, you really want them at that step.
Yeah.
And if you went stage, you saw like 9 extra cards.
Hmm.
If you saw any other searcher, or even more if you saw Lafitte, it's really good. Like you're
Hmm.
gonna see what you wanna see most games.
Okay. And are you what? So yeah, since we're on like getting your hand how you want it right now anyway, what are you mulliganing for? What is your like ideal hand that you want at the start?
If you ignore every matchup, it's just stage.
Yeah.
If you saw the stage, even if the hand is like really not good, you're just keeping it because you're gonna have the time to like see your whole deck. You're gonna find the pieces you need. But if you don't see the stage
Hmm.
and you don't draw into it, then you might start sweating because you won't always have the answer you need for your opponent's board, right?
Yeah,
and then
true.
that's when the game becomes like troublesome. So really, it's like the main card is stage.
How?
Into specific matchups like Zoro, for example, you
Mhm.
would probably have Mulligan for a Shiryu just because he's more important in stage in that matchup. Like, if you don't see him on 4, you're gonna have some trouble dealing with the board. He's gonna be 4 wide before you even get to try anything, right?
Yeah, fair. Do you ever not
Yeah.
find the stage?
Yeah, I had 2 games, I think. One was semifinals. I did not see the stage. My hand was actually abysmal in the second Lim game. Like, not only was I not prepared for all at all for the Lim matchup, I did not respect the deck at all. My hand was, I believe it was Van Auger, Pistol, Kuzan, and I think that was it. Another card.
Mm.
I don't know what I drew. It was a really horrible hand, but the other one was in Swiss. I played against the Shanks. I did not see stage. I just saw my Burgesses, and that was it. Like, I saw all 4 Burgesses. That was great. But I was really lucky that he was playing the control variant,
Mhm.
so he didn't really have the aggression to kill me. So I ended up just taking every hit and just slamming down Burgesses, and it just got me there.
Yeah, fair man, fair. So you know, with the limb, the guy that won the limb, obviously taking nothing away. Like the guy went 15-0 at a
Yeah, he
regionals with limb.
confirmed.
Like that is amazing. But do you reckon part of that, and the reason the other guy got there as well? Do you reckon part of that is like you said, like maybe people not respecting the deck enough, not planning for it to be there, so that they were sort of caught unaware? Do you think that might have had anything to do with them? Like
Oh yeah, yeah.
obviously saying that they were
Obviously,
amazing,
they're
but
both phenomenal
of
players. Like they
course,
did
yeah, yeah,
really, like they know everything. They need to be really good players.
yeah,
But not like the majority of players were not prepared for Lim at all. Didn't
yeah.
respect the deck or expected it to have like high costs or top end.
Hmm.
I heard the day off that they didn't run top end, but I did not want to prepare for it at all. So I was
Yeah.
just hoping they either get someone else takes care of them, or I won't see him. And if I see him, I'll come up with a plan on the spot, which didn't work out for me, but
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, like you can do a certain amount of planning like for what's in the meta, but you never know. You never know what you're gonna come against,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
realistically, do you? So cool. Um, where were
That
we?
kind of match.
Teach.
Yeah, okay, so that was Stitch. We
Hmm.
already talked about my era, obviously. A great searcher. Not only does it feel trash and has a trigger, but like it's another searcher.
Yeah.
Then we obviously have the choice over Docu, the I beat 500 millions, and his best friend Finger Pistol. Obviously, how I'm playing the deck, like slamming down bodies in the early game instead of removing my opponent's board.
Yeah.
If I hit a trigger in life, it basically like buys you a free turn, and you don't even need to focus on removal at all, because like your life took care of that.
Yeah.
So you just get to slam down more bodies, and it turns out like any deck looking at 4 Burgesses is not gonna is usually not gonna get there if they pass
No,
back to you.
definitely not.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the cards did not overperform. I did not see that many triggers.
Oh, really?
There was one in top 32 against the Lucci.
Hmm.
I think there were like 2 in Swiss or something like that. But I'm still happy they were in the deck. I
Yeah, I'm
think I
sure.
think it was the correct choice for this weekend instead of Docu.
Do you often see either of these two out of life, or is it just like
Uh,
it's great when it does,
like
but it doesn't happen that often?
Yeah, it's great when it does. It doesn't happen that often. Obviously, it happens more often with 8 triggers instead of 4.
Yeah,
But the real appeal of the I beat 500 million, I know people call it the casino build.
yeah,
I prefer the term Jesus Burgess Turbo. It seems much more fitting. But the I beat 500 million is really in there mostly for the mirror.
yeah.
Like the card obviously makes the mirror that much more like playable.
Hmm.
Even the trigger out of life is like it's disastrous for the opponent. If the
Yeah,
bird just goes away for free, it's straight up disaster.
yeah. That's crazy.
With its effect also like being applicable in it, it really made sense. Like the card was a really good choice, I think, for
Hmm.
this weekend. Even though I didn't trigger it as much, I still think it was a great choice.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like it. I said I would never play a Celestial Dragon card, but but I'm gonna test your deck out. I'm gonna like I'm gonna do a little sim situation. I'm gonna have to shut my eyes when I play that card. But is that like a that's regularly part of most of the Blackbeard decks now, or is this like a tech that you've sort of added?
I think a lot of people are still on Doc Q.
Okay.
Like Doc Q is obviously like a phenomenal card,
Hmm.
especially when there's like 4 costs in the meta. Even with 5 costs being in the meta, like you still have Laboon for it
Yeah.
if you want to hit the 5 costs. It seemed like it would make more sense to run 4 Shiryus in this and just having triggers that can do the same thing
Hmm.
essentially. Like in a really niche situation, if you look at it, like I bid 500 million is just the Doc Q that costs one more. Because what ends up happening a lot, even if it gets used for one turn, if you never use it again, it's just standing there and your opponent's never gonna hit into it.
True.
So effectively what you do is you just pay one more and you don't need to run Doc Q.
Hmm.
With the upside of the trigger just being incredible, obviously, and also it works in the mirror, like phenomenal card in the mirror.
Cool. So that like these two plus your Shuri, that's all of
Yeah,
the no.
that's
There's
all of the removal.
no black
You
hole.
have you have the black hole, yeah,
Yeah.
but like black hole usually I don't think I removed one thing with it,
Oh really?
except in the mirror. Like I almost never play the card.
Hmm.
In theory, it makes sense if it triggers into Lim and they didn't lead their ability yet. Like you really fuck them up, kind
Yeah.
of,
Is
because they
this
don't
is
get to
this
lead their
pretty much
ability yet.
only in the deck to use to negate an ability?
Yeah, it's to negate blockers and for the mirror. That's why there's only 2 of them because I don't think there's that. I wasn't expecting at least a situation
Yeah.
where I would need a third one. Really,
Hmm.
you see it when you wanna see it. If you have stage, you know exactly where it is in your deck, so like you can kind
Yeah.
of count up to when you're getting to it. But yeah, outside of the mirror, like you wanna see finger pistol way more.
Yeah. Fair. I saw this
Yeah,
card. I think I've seen this card against every Blackbeard that I played. Obviously Bonnie, Kid, Wall.
yeah,
Everyone used it against my kid. Like for people watching who don't know, there's an 8 cost green kid. When it's rested with a Don under it, the opponent has to swing into the kid before they can do like swing anywhere else, like into life or anything. But this essentially negates that so that they can swing anywhere, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
correct. The card you wanna do that even more with, obviously, is Teach, of course.
Hmm.
Because on the clapback, Bonnie can't activate the effect of Kid because it's still negated. So it's 2 turns
Yeah.
of get wrecked,
That's
and
crazy, man.
it's just insane.
Yeah, I had that. I did have that a couple times, and I think for the two that I won, I did get like perfect hands basically. Like I think I was lucky to sort of get out of them. Also, man, like I need to start. I need to maybe get like a tattoo on my hand or something that says Blackbeard leader ability, so that I remember that my opponent's done it. The amount of times I tried to play Hody Jones to try and rest two Blackbeards was insane. I was just like, oh no, what have I done?
I mean, if it
Yeah,
happens to Blackbeard, like he lost on the spot.
yeah.
If
But yeah,
Cody ever resolves his effect, it's straight up a disaster.
yeah, 100%. But yeah, I really need to. That's why I can't play Blackbeard either. Like, not only do I forget that my opponent's done it, I forget to actually do it, which almost renders the whole deck pointless. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I had that learning the deck too. I often leader ability and then just leader ability again at the
yeah,
end. Like, going -1 for no reason, but you live and you learn.
yeah, exactly. So then lastly, I've got 3 Vasco shot in my hand.
Yep, yeah. It turns out that like cheap blockers are super broken if your opponent can't do anything about them.
Facts.
Uh, like I was trying out Katarina Devon for a little bit, but
Hmm.
she ended up just like essentially doing the same job as Vasco does.
Yeah.
Like if Kuzan brings out something from the trash, it can just be Vasco. If you're just gonna block and he's gonna die no matter what.
Hmm.
The only really applicable situation where Katarina seemed better was like she can get some pressure down with her other two, the double attack and the banish.
Yeah.
And she plays around the Shiryu in the mirror if you're relying on like a blocker to try and survive.
Is
But
that the? She's like a 5 cost that has like you can
yeah, she's a
choose
5 cost.
which.
Okay, yeah, exactly. You can choose blocker, double attack, or banish.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
The card's pretty okay. Just she really ended up just being a block and die every time, and at that point, like Vasco cost 2. You can still bring him out with Kuzan. Your opponent still can't answer it most of the time. Like not having on plays is horrendous. So he just seemed like really the right choice for the meta.
Cool. Right, cool. So we've seen your deck. I'm going to ask you a few questions. You give me as much detail or as little detail as you want, and we'll go from there. First question: what are the key tech cards you included, if any? Like, are any of these a personal tech?
The only really tech cards I would say in this deck, like the deck is pretty cookie cutter. The only two are obviously Shiryu at 4 and I bid 500 million, which really was just like we talked about. It was a meta call. Like if you see the trigger in life, because you have 8 triggers, you get a free turn. It's usually just a blowout. You're gonna win that game. It doesn't matter what the situation was like before it. Obviously for the mirror, incredibly broken because of the being able to deal with Burgess. And Shiryu, of course, being able to pop the 3 costs, which all of a sudden, since OP09, there's just like a shitload of good 3 costs running around because of the Sanji and the Chopper from 08.
Yeah.
So the card, like, it's really good.
Cool. You obviously in a meta where there's so many different decks running around. I feel like this might be maybe a difficult question. Not difficult, but basically, how do you close out games with Blackbeard? Now, I feel like there's that answer might be different depending on what deck you're playing. But is there like a sort of general, this is what I'm trying to do and how I'm trying to win with Blackbeard?
Yeah. So the approach of Jesus Turbo is you put down your Jesuses. And then just before you start hitting the chain of 10 costs, you remove your opponent's board and you let them stare down like a whole bunch of big ass dudes that are just gonna beat them into oblivion.
Scary.
And then you start spamming the teaches. Because like if they go wide to try and answer a teach coming, they're usually gonna stay without their hand. And they're usually not that healthy, and you got like 10k dudes base, so they're just gonna die. But if they play a singular guy, you slam down the teach, you disable it, and you just push them face, and they like have to try and go for game, but they almost never have it.
Yeah, fair.
The general game plan is really like put down bodies, remove opponents' bodies right before teach, and then just start chaining teachers and kill them. If you
Yeah,
wanna like
I mean
something
that makes perfect
the
sense.
easiest words.
During your run, what was your toughest matchup, and how did you sort of like navigate it, if you could?
Are we talking about Swiss or all day?
Just over the whole
Well,
2 days.
Uh, I guess the toughest would be ironically well obviously Lim because I didn't know what she was doing, but I think it was the first Luchi I faced in top 32. So I was testing Luchi because I also believe like that deck it was either that or BB. Both decks had like a really good spread for the meta. Just lost to like one specific deck. Luchi has a hard time into Blackbeard obviously, and the Usopp matchup is kind of cooked at least from my perspective, while Teach struggles into Doffy. So my call was like, there's probably gonna be way more Blackbeards and Usopps than there are gonna be Doffys, so I'm just gonna bring Teach. But the guy in top 32 had a deck that was basically like wholly built around just beating Teach. He was playing the full Navy package, the Tashigi, the 5 cost Tashigi that trashes a 0 cost. He was running at a 4 off and had brand new to search her. He was also running like instant removal with the Laboons. or instant reducer with the Laboons.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was playing the Utas. I'm unsure at this point, but like he was really ready for Teach. And obviously, being my first top cut or top 32 day two, I was pretty nervous. So his deck being built around like literally destroying me,
Yeah,
me being nervous, and it started to look horrendous for me. But I managed to lock in and calm down by round three, and I got to play the game finally.
nice, man.
But
Nice.
that matchup was ironically the scariest one.
Oh, cool. So, what do you think are your strongest and weakest matchups? Like, you must have a couple matchups that this is like an auto win, this one's an auto loss.
Yeah, okay. So in general, like auto wins in my mind were Shanks. Obviously I played like I was straight up a Shanks farm. I think 7 out of the decks I played were Shanks.
That's crazy.
So that one seemed pretty free. Lucci obviously without the tech to beat Blackbeard is straight up unwinnable for
Hmm.
for him. And Bonnie and Reiju, though quite less represented, I think are quite free matchups that are like that they have to like Reiju has to see every what's the Russian ECG I believe
Hmm.
every ECG in the deck straight up and win the dice roll to even have a chance.
Oh wow.
And Bonnie Bonnie has to see like I don't know double Zoro I guess would be pretty scary. Other than that, I don't envision her doing much. Everything else like seemed like you could just like initially it looks like a hard matchup, for example, like Pluffy or Usopp.
Hmm.
But if you just like take the approach of I am the aggressor now, it turns out that your 4 cost 10k is just too strong for them, and they just fold under the pressure. Because like Usopp, for example, runs so many goddamn bricks in the deck.
Yeah, man.
Uh, if you get the early swing like an 8 in and they just don't have a blocker up, their leader ability is disabled for a little bit, they're at 3 life already, and it's already a pretty curse situation for them.
Yeah, man.
Pluffy as well, of course, if they get first, they can do a lot, but like you generally are just faster than them.
Hmm.
Uh, the only really scary matchup to me obviously was the Doflamingo. Obviously, not running the dock queues, the Doffy matchup is much harder. I also do not run liberations, so like Doffy just becomes increasingly too hard to beat almost.
Okay.
So I was just hoping I would dodge it all day, and it ended up happening.
Good. Yeah, I think I played two, man. I played two. One absolutely wiped me. I think it was just like red rock, gravity blade. And as a Bonnie player who plays like one card a turn, it was just like
Yeah, if the
gone.
5 doesn't stick, you go cry.
Yeah, that like it was actually that made me drop. I played a, I think I played a Dofi, and then I played a Boa straight after, and I was just like, "Fuck this! I'm not playing anymore."
Yeah, my
Yeah,
approach for Dofi was I assumed there would be some. Like obviously the players that played Dofi all last format were still gonna be on Dofi because the
yeah.
deck was like it's still pretty strong.
Hmm.
I was just hoping if I see him in the early rounds, I see one of the worst Dofis that just picked him up for this event.
Hmm.
Because you have obviously better chances of beating someone that doesn't know what they're doing on the deck.
Yeah.
And then I was assuming that towards the like end of Swiss, the last few rounds, there was just gonna be a few like really cracked Dofis at the game. And if you just dodge those few, you're gonna be okay. And it ended up working exactly like that.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I did actually manage to beat one Dofi, but like you said, it was someone in a side event, I think, who had just picked up the deck. Like maybe it was their friend's deck or something. But I still won that, and inside I was celebrating like I just won the Champions League because I've never beat a Dofi with Bonnie before. I was like,
Nice.
yes. Obviously, on the outside, I was cool and calm, but
Yeah, cool
in
and
my head,
collected.
I
Yeah.
was just like, fuck Dofi. Cool. Yeah. So obviously, yeah, you just mentioned you play Lucci as well, right?
Yeah, I played Lucci
So
versus Lucci and tested Lucci, so
okay.
whichever the
Do you
question was.
do you see yourself staying with Teach, and also do you see Teach like obviously it's quite a unique ability, right? And it's
Yeah.
it can be, it's pretty broad to how effective that can be against like just the general meta. Do you see it being like a very long term deck? Like, do you think
Yeah,
it's
for
going to be
sure.
viable for a long time?
I think, well, if you look at Asian meta, obviously Teach, I think, fell off in EB due to the green purple Luffy. I haven't looked at like the meta at all, like practice or thought about it. If Teach still has a space, but I think the like leader ability is so generically broken, and the Burgess Kuzan and Tenko Stitch cards are so j- broken
Yeah.
that if the opportunity ever presents itself, like the deck's obviously gonna come back even if he goes away for some time. It's really oppressive to just like take away someone's whole like your deck is built around on plays, mine is built around not having them, and now we
Yeah.
both don't have them. Like it sucks.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like I love that it exists because it
It's beautiful. It's
yeah.
I'm a big NL hater, and this being in existence, like if I see a nail creeping up, I'm taking this again.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
No
it definitely
question.
makes the meta more fun. I think it keeps certain things in check. Like, yeah, it's good. It's good. I think it's healthy. I think when it was
For
first
sure,
like
for sure.
announced, I think people were worried that it was just gonna like fuck the game up, but it seems to have done the complete opposite, to be honest. So that's pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I think he's truly the. It's truly just Jesus, you know.
Hmm.
It's a holy deck. It saved the meta. It brought us salvation. It's truly incredible.
Yeah, it's good, man. Um, do you have any tips to like maybe someone who hasn't sort of even looked or touched Blackbeard yet, but thinks it looks interesting? Like, do you have any tips to anyone looking to pick it up?
Yeah, sure. Like generically, I would just say don't fall into the trap of keep removing your opponent's board because they're just gonna keep playing you guys, and if you don't have any guys to deal with it, you're probably gonna lose the game. Like
Hmm.
stuff really needs to go right for you to win the game. And just think of your leader ability as if you don't know what you're playing against, your leader ability can like play around a lot of cards, and trading one card to protect your board if you don't know what's gonna happen is just like almost always worth it.
Yeah, fair. So what's like a common mistake someone new might do?
It's really just not developing. Like I notice it in a lot of new players.
Hmm.
That, for example, run Docu, Augur, Pistols, and Liberations. What ends up is like you fall into the like pitfall of always wanting to remove your opponent's board,
Hmm.
and if you keep doing that, you never developed anything. And if they deal with your like one Augur on board, you're gonna lose the game because just Teach by himself, if he's staring down five guys, if they like go right before 10, just drop their whole hand on the board, you're gonna have trouble like bringing that back.
Yeah, fair.
Make sure to play your guys.
Cool. Obviously you went pretty much to the end. How do you stay like consistent and focused when you've like even me, I dropped out after I think 6 games. I was mentally drained, I was sweaty, I was hot. You went all the way like to the end. How do you keep yourself focused and just like going? Is it like 10 cans of Red Bull or have you got like a method?
To be totally honest, this is the thing I struggle with a lot.
Hmm.
My mind like really got drained by the end of Swiss. Like my ninth round, I played so bad. The guy was probably wondering what the hell I was doing there. It was horrendous. Um, but what ended up helping is like can I give a quick shout out actually?
Of course, man. Of course.
Perfect, perfect. So I'm in Impact's Joshua Graham, like obviously one of the best players I think of like ever.
Hmm.
Obviously an incredible player. I'm in his future pro player tier. Been in there for 2 months, and there's a guy in there named Winter. Shout out to my boy, who's really like consistent in practicing, and he made this background for Sim
Hmm.
that like tells you to think about the turn, like visualize, think what they're gonna do, what's his board gonna look like, what's your gonna board gonna look like. And in the 10th round, where my brain was really fried, I just like forced myself to envision the whole like checklist every single time before I made a single move, and it let my brain operate on
That's a really good
higher
idea, man.
capacity. Yeah, it's
That's a
really
really good
useful. Like,
idea.
shout out to him, man. It was incredible, super useful. And then top 32. If I'm being completely honest, I was ready to drop at getting top 32.
Wow, really?
I was like, I'm so tired. I don't want to do it. But my friends and my girlfriend were obviously like, at least try. Like, you already made it this
Yeah,
far. You might
man.
go further. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And I just tried to focus up. Obviously, after getting over the nerves, it started clicking for me, and it was a pretty like relaxed environment. And the rest between sure helped. I'll say it
Yeah.
like that. It was mostly battling the nerves day too.
Yeah, fair.
But
I can
like
imagine.
yeah, incredible. Like I really thought it would be super scary to everyone like who worries about that.
Mm,
It's not that scary. Even stream, it wasn't that scary at all. Like obviously nerves play into it. I could see I wasn't thinking as much.
yeah.
Still thinking, but not as much. But like it's really not that scary. And every player I faced like was super cheerful,
Hmm.
super nice. Like the community is really good in this game.
Yeah,
I came
man.
from Yu-Gi-Oh, where the community was not that great.
I've heard this a
And
lot. I've heard
yeah,
that a lot.
yeah. My first regional experience on Yu-Gi-Oh was a guy rule sharked me so hard and so often that I ended up like normal summoning twice, which is a big no-no.
Yeah.
Just because of like how stressed I was. My friends
Yeah,
told me I
yeah.
was completely red in the face, and One Piece is like the complete opposite experience. Like
Man,
everyone's super
that's
friendly.
that's how I am at locals, bro. I'm stressed at locals. Yeah, no, honestly,
Yeah,
if
understandable.
there's one thing that I've got positive to say about like like whether it's locals or big tournaments, like sometimes like they're organizing shit or like there's loads that's bad, but the one thing that's consistent is the people there are always amazing. Like
For sure.
happy to chat, happy to give you advice. Like no one's being like toxic or anything. Like like I'm not the most like confident person like in person, and everyone's always either like in a similar boat and then approachable or just happy to be accommodating. Yeah, yeah. The big up the community. Community is amazing.
Big up.
I
The
hope it
community
stays
is
like
very good.
that.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah, I'm sure, man. I'm sure. So after this regionals, obviously you had a sick run, top four, amazing. What's sort of next? Are you gonna stick with Blackbeard? Are you doing any more tournaments anytime soon? Are you gonna take a little bit of a break, like let your mind recover, or what's the plan?
So currently for Europe, we don't have onlines obviously this
Hmm.
whole season, which really stinks. So I'm desperately trying to acquire tickets for the Rome regional and the France regional. I really want to go.
Hmm.
Uh,
Isn't that
I
this
really
weekend?
came into, and I think it's next, or
Oh, okay.
Rome should be quite a while. I think
Okay.
June. Yeah, June. So I really want to go there. Like I came into London like thinking, okay, I'm gonna practice or like put into practice what I've learned. I wanna get better with the deck. Obviously, original is the best environment for it.
Yeah.
And then I just kept winning, and I was like, wow, this is really going well. And I really want more of this. Like last season, last nationals,
Hmm.
I did not get an invite, of course, because not only did Europe not have invites at the time, but
Hmm.
I also didn't top to get any invite. Like I think I went to one or two regionals. And this season I have the invite, so it's locked in. Last season I did not get any raffle, neither did my girlfriend. It was horrendous. So this time I'm there. I wanna perform as best I can on nets.
Oh, brilliant, man. Well,
How far I can
we'll
take
all be rooting for you for sure.
it. Thank you.
My Discord will be going. Um, cool. Well, yeah, that sounds sick, man. I think best way to close this out. I've got a whole bunch of questions that subs sent in. They were meant to be asked to people at the tournament, but I got told not to record, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna risk it. I don't
Okay.
wanna piss anyone off.
I'll
We'll
answer it
save
for the
it.
community. It's
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. Yeah, on behalf of everyone at Regent. No, I'm joking. um, cool. Little quick fire. There's a lot of questions that were about money and like how much people have spent, which I don't really want to go into that. I don't think everyone needs to know how much we've all spent on the game. Just know that it's probably too much.
It's a lot.
Yeah. What was your first deck you played and why did you choose it?
My first deck was a structure deck Kaido. I was a very big Kaido fan. I started, I think it was either in the middle or close to the end of OPO2. I went to play like at a local card shop. I went to play Yu-Gi-Oh with a few friends, and I was burnt out of playing it for that night. So I said, "Fuck it, let's buy each one structure deck and let's see where it goes." And then like 1 week after that, I had ordered every single card, four offs,
Brilliant.
and just started like spamming the game. The deck really spoke to me because I just love Kaido. I love dragons in general, and he was just like super cool. My experience with him was like I went to locals. I lost the first round. The guy said your deck is goddamn awful, and then just gave me a few cards I was I was missing and fixed up my deck, and we've been friends since then.
Oh, brilliant, man. That's a sick story.
Yeah.
So one of the next questions was favorite character. Is it Kaido?
Kaido's for sure up there.
Okay.
I rank him on a few different tiers, but I would have to say favorite Straw Hat is Robin all the way. And then out of every character in the universe, Kaido is amazing and Katakuri is also amazing. But there's like very few characters I hate.
Yeah. Valid. Very, very valid answer. I've got a feeling you might be a singles guy, but are you packs or singles?
I am Pax all the way.
Hey! I
This
wasn't
game
sure
is
because
so beautiful.
you said you bought all the singles for the Kaido deck. I thought, oh, maybe you're a singles guy. But yeah,
Yeah, I came from Yu-Gi-Oh, so I was used to singles.
yeah.
And then obviously the what was it? Product drought happened when I
Mm,
started playing. There was no boxes anywhere, so I just wanted to get my hands onto every card available. So I bought out all the singles. But ever since then, I've been buying half a case or a whole case,
yeah,
every single set, and just like you open 5 boxes, you pull a playset of every single card, and you're happy.
yeah,
I
that's
like
it.
keep them all bindered by color, by set in perfect fits, so it's super easy to find too.
All
Uh,
right, all right.
it's all organized.
Respected, very respected.
Thank you.
Oh, your thoughts on rotation?
I'm actually very excited about it.
Same.
I could be partial like to it because Nami is gonna rotate out, obviously, like a dream day for me. Uh, One day I'm never gonna have to look at Enel again, like another beautiful piece of information. And I think just overall it's healthier for the game if rotation is introduced. So we don't get into that same Yu-Gi-Oh lifestyle. Like if we were Yu-Gi-Oh players right now, after limb topping with the OPO1 Orochi, that card would have been like 30 euros for no reason. And
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, I completely
that's
agree with
not
you,
the
man.
case.
This is a great question. When I saw this one in the comments, I was like, yeah, this might be my favorite question. So if all decks were like created equally, like the meta was irrelevant, uh, like any deck goes against any deck, fair play, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What leader are you playing?
Reiju. No, no, no.
Yeah?
Absolutely Reiju. No questions asked.
Really? Okay, why? Why Reiji?
Yeah. Yeah. The deck just plays super cool. She
Mm-hmm.
was the first deck I performed well with, I would say. Like I always played the game. I never focused much on improving. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've really been focusing on improving like desperately for 2 months now. But with her, I actually got like good results, and like of course local scene or whatever, because I
Yeah.
didn't really visit many regionals. And she's just super fun. Like I love purple as a color. It's my favorite color in general.
Okay.
The deck's wonderful. I was super hyped when they announced the Three Brothers set that's coming. I think
Yeah, yeah.
OP13.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, surely it's gonna be Ichiji, Niji, and Yonji. It wasn't, of course, but so close to the dream.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about that, but yeah, fair enough.
Could have been.
So So if you could make any deck a tier 0 deck, would it be Reiju then?
Yeah, it would be Reiju for sure.
Okay,
It would be Reiju.
interesting. Um, they want to know what deck will win regionals.
Win regionals like now?
So
The
oh
next
wait, sorry. This I just realised this was meant to be asked before the final happened, so we already
Yeah, I
know.
assume.
So
If
so
I
so
have to
let's
take a
yeah.
guess, it's gonna be Lim.
I think it might be Lim. Yeah, you're right. So let's go Nats then. Who wins Nats?
um, Nats is gonna be in which format? 11, I think.
I have no idea.
Uh, you know what? I'm not gonna give it much thought. I'm gonna say Blackbeard and believe in my boy. Obviously, a very good deck. I think he can find his place. Surely he can be cooked to perform amazing again.
Yeah.
So full power.
All
I
right.
trust.
All right. Blackbeard. You heard it here first. What lead? Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is a good question because you're actually a One Piece fan. Who that doesn't have a leader already do you want to get a leader card, and what color would they be?
Um, that's actually a great question. Um, I want that doesn't have specifically. Okay, I was gonna answer Robin because I want a new Robin leader.
Same.
But other than that, I would hope it's Frankie.
Oh
He
yeah.
deserves a leader at this point, and he deserves to have something to do with the Sunny.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
really
Very
want to
good
see it. I
idea.
really want to see it happen. I really want to see it happen. I wanted it to happen with Chopper. I wanted it to have different abilities for different points.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen, so now I'm hoping that Frankie is the one that gets this
Man,
treatment.
you know what? Frankie could be like the Exodia
He could be.
because
He really could be.
he can like connect with all the other like bits of the like the
He's just
vehicles
cool
and
as
stuff,
hell.
right?
He deserves the leader. Like, why doesn't he
Yeah,
have one?
yeah. It's true. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's a great one. That's a great one. All right, we'll do two more. What card, if any, would you like to see unbanned?
Unbanned.
Yeah.
Um, to be honest, now that I'm feeling like a bit better about my skill level, and I know I at least have the potential to be great.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to take to run a run at Sakazuki.
Okay.
I wanna play the deck when not only is the deck like at full power, but my brain is also like capable of piloting him really
Yeah, yeah.
properly.
Do you think that we've sort of power creeped enough now for Sakazuki to come back? I personally think Saka would just fuck everyone up still. Well, what do you reckon?
There's been a few bans now that I did not see coming. The Ice Age specifically, like I saw the Moria coming obviously, but I did
Yeah,
not see
yeah.
the Ice Age coming. I still think like the deck could absolutely be broken.
Mm-hmm.
I think the color combination is obviously the best in the game, and his leader ability is really like so goddamn powerful. I think he would find another spot still.
Yeah, agreed. Right, last question. Obviously, you did so well. You've got the knowledge. You need to drop some knowledge on the new players. Any advice? Just any little bits of advice for people starting now. It could be about anything. It could be about deck to play. Could be about like mindset, or like your attitude, or whatever. Any piece of advice for some new players.
Um, I guess if it were to be deck to play, I'm always gonna say Shanks. I think he's a very good fundamentals deck. Like
Hmm.
he's if you put in the time, he's gonna teach you how to play One Piece, and it's gonna transfer to other decks. But the main part is definitely like mentally or attitude. Like as I stated before, I'm in the Future Pro player tier from Impact. Like you see it right when you load on Sim, deservedly so. Yeah, a really incredible player. He states you don't really wanna like focus on like how what's your win percentage, like what did you achieve, what was your end score. You just really wanna focus on playing the best that you can in the moment. And if you just keep focusing on that, all of a sudden you go from 6 for Andy to just like having a serial, is which is exactly what happened to me. Uh, it's I just focused on practicing playing good, and it just took me all the way. So that's really the main thing I would advise every new player. Don't be discouraged if you go 0-5. It happens to everyone. I brought Bonnie to locals after these nets because I put a bounty on myself. Everyone that beats me get a free pack, and I was like, surely Bonnie's the one that
That's amazing. I
gives out the
love
most
that.
packs, and I went 0-4 immediately. So like, don't be
That's
discouraged if
great.
that happens.
Oh, that's so funny. That's great. Yeah, great advice as well, man. Yeah, great advice. Yeah, I really appreciate the interview as well, man. I appreciate you taking your time to come have a
Yeah,
chat,
thank you.
a little interview. Um, After this, I'm gonna go absolutely destroy him on the sim. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm not. But I would love to play you one day. I would love to play you one day. We'll
No problem.
have a little
I'd love to
session.
play too.
Yeah, cool.
Just want to thank you for the interview. I was a little bit sad when I didn't get one. I'm gonna be honest. I was like, damn, I did really good there. I saw other interviews. Where was mine? I was
Yeah,
the only black
absolutely,
guy there.
bro. Absolutely, you fully deserve
So
one.
I was quite excited to have the interview, and just like another thank you to Impact. He's a great fucking teacher. If you wanna really take the game seriously, that tier is where you should be.
Yeah, I'll send me whatever information. I'll make it available in the description as well. Yeah, shout them out for sure.